Sometimes I feel like this is just a simulation. Hello again, skunkmunkee here, and today in our Snapshot update 21w44a, what do we have? Well, this is a fairly small snapshot update, but it's got some pretty big things going on, and you may have noticed that we're actually in my data pack testing world. That's because this is the one that I've been showing you guys the stuff that has been happening between the new blending method and the old worlds and such. And this is an old world. This is 1.17. I've been in here many times. And if we go far enough, things look, well, they look fine now because we're in 21w44. But if you tried to do this before they did the blending, it would look bad. But the big news announcement, whatever, about this one is that the stuff underneath of me, down there below y=0, is now actually generated. Before we look at it though, let's hop back into 1.17 and I will show you what it looks like right now before the snapshot. Here is the world in 1.17, and if we sink down into the ground, you can see all of the different caves. You can see this nice yeah, it's an interesting looking lava cave here. But if we go down far enough, you'll see we have our bedrock right down here at y=3, 4 area. And see if we find any other spots so we can show this off. Not really. But here we are in lava, and you can see that the bedrock, I mean, it's down here and nothing below here. Nothing below y=0. All right, back to the snapshot. Here is that same lava tunnel. As you can see, there's a lot more going on below, and where there was bedrock before is now deep slate. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on down here. We've got geodes, we've got caves galore, we got all sorts of amazing new places to explore. Now, unfortunately, they can't make it completely blend in because, well, I mean, it doesn't work completely. So now we have this cave, and it kind of stops right here at the deep slate. And then we have the lava cave above it. So it's not 100%, you know, matching up, but it is pretty stinking good, actually. They did a pretty good job with it. I mean, I wish... Ooh, diamonds. I wish that this could have gone through, but I understand that it is not really possible to make that work. But this is really nice. I like that they have finally included a way for old worlds to be included with the update. And you may be saying, well, they always do that. Well, no, they don't. When they updated to having, you know, diorite and andesite and all that, like this stuff spawn in the world, that didn't respawn in regular stone areas when that happened. So yeah, they don't always do that, but right now, wow, there's floating lava, or floating gravel over the lava. But I like that they're making this happen. It makes the old worlds feel more fresh and alive. I did not know this was a thing, but apparently if you sleep through the night, it actually resets the weather entirely in 1.17, but now in the snapshot it only resets the weather cycle if it is raining or thunderstorming at that moment. So yeah, now the rain might come today, but in the past it wouldn't because it completely reset. That's an interesting change. I like that. Another big part of this snapshot is the world simulation distance, and basically I wasn't really sure what that was all about. And they already had that in the game, but they've included liquids into it. So, and blocks. So basically, right now, my render, let's just check it out. Let's see, options, video settings. My render distance is 28 chunks, and my simulation distance is 12 chunks. So that means that the world around me is generating up to 28 chunks away, and I can see a really long distance. Well, in 1.17, that meant that basically everything within that distance is also trying to update, and that's what was causing so much lag. And what simulation distance means is that only within 12 chunks of me will things actually update. I can still see blocks that are out there, but nothing is really updating around me, really. So I mean, the only things around me are updated, nothing out there. So right now, if I put, let's say, let's just do lava, for instance. If I take a bucket of lava and I put it on the ground right here, obviously what's going to happen is that it's going to flow and it's going to update and keep moving around and around and around. However, as you can see right over there in the distance, there is a mountain with lava on it, and the lava is not updating. We can see everything going on over there, but that is not updating itself. And as we get closer here, you're going to see that all of a sudden it's going to start moving because the simulation distance, there we go. It is now within simulation distance, and that is actually going to be updating. This one is still updating. And if we back away, it will stop updating. There we go. So this is a way that we can see more of the world, but it doesn't impact our gameplay as much. So if you want to see more of the world, but you don't have a computer that can handle that, well then with your options, your video settings, take your simulation distance way down. And I mean, don't put your render distance up that high, unless you've got a good computer. But that way, things around you are not going to be updating nearly as fast. Now, let's see what happens if I change my simulation distance to 28 chunks. That seems a bit excessive. But that should be, yep, see now that's flowing over there. Everything around me within 28 chunks is going to be updating now, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Imagine if this was a big field and all the crops were trying to grow. That would just be absolutely crazy. But I really like this. I like this setting. It allows more players to use what computers they do have in order to, you know, play the game and experience it to the fullest. But that about does it for this snapshot. There's a couple other bug fixes that he did, but nothing too, you know, amazing and incredible. But those are the two big things, is the simulation distance and the updating under current worlds. And it really seems like now that they have those, the blending and the updating under current worlds in place, I feel like they might be pretty close to giving us some pre-releases. And I'm hoping that comes next week and we'll be one step closer to actually a release of 1.18. And that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, consider subscribing, turn on those notifications. You can follow me on Twitter. You can join my Discord channel. Links to those are down in the description. And I hope to see you guys in the next Minecraft Snapshot or pre-release. Until next time!